Hello, I'm Sherry from Mayflower Cruises and Tours. Mayflower is excited to be a travel partner with First State Bank Vista Club. We are all in for a grand adventure like nothing we have experienced before. Wildlife, wonderful landscapes, and the Masi culture awaits us on this epic African adventure. Highlights of Kenya, departing April 30th, 2025. It's a true wildlife safari showcasing the best of what Eastern Africa offers. The Big Five, many of Kenya's most famed national and conservation parks await us. Now, if you've dreamt of visiting the continent of Africa, well, this is Africa. Our trip includes 9 days with 20 meals, daily wildlife encounters and safaris, along with unforgettable cultural tradition representative of the tribal communities of the region. Some trips are a trip of a lifetime. This is definitely one of them. We'll arrive in the capital city of Kenya. The largest city in Kenya, Nairobi, was founded in the late 1890s as a British railroad camp on the Mombasa to Uganda Railway. Now one of Africa's most influential cities, Nairobi is a vital commercial and financial regional hub. It's home to the regional headquarters of various major international companies and organizations. In Nairobi, we will stay at the Tamarind Tree Hotel. It's a 160 room hotel, centrally located. It's easy access to Nairobi's local attractions, very comfortably appointed rooms, TV, Wi-Fi, air conditioning, coffee, tea amenities, hair dryer. It's even got an outdoor heated swimming pool with lounge chairs and umbrellas. It's a great place for us to rest up and begin our African adventure. But we're not going to waste any time here with likely one of the most memorable moments of your adventure right out of the gate as we visit the Elephant Orphanage. Approximately 36,000 African elephants inhabit the country of Kenya. And who doesn't want to learn about baby elephants? Did you know that, like human infants who must learn motor skills, baby elephants have no control over their trunks when they are born? And they have to learn how to use their trunks. And at first, find them a bit of a challenge as they literally fall over their flopping trunks. Trust me, you're going to see it. Now, in Kenya, they are tackling challenges ranging from poaching to habitat destruction through pioneering field projects so that humans and wildlife can find balance and live in harmony for generations to come. The orphanage will highlight the fine balance of wildlife and human impact. But you can't help but fall in love with both the baby elephants and their caregivers. To date, over 320 plus orphan elephants have been saved and reintroduced into the wild, many of which we're going to observe on our travels here. We continue on to the renowned Karen Blixen Museum. You will most likely recognize this location because it's the stuff that movies are made of. I mean, literally. As in the mid-1980s, the Karen Blixen Museum was featured in the Oscar-winning movie Out of Africa, and it made it on to the global stage. Karen Blixen, the author of Out of Africa, resided here with her husband. It's preserved as a national treasure. Built in 1912, Karen and her husband bought the house in 1917, and it became the farmhouse for their 6,000-acre farm, of which 600 acres was used for coffee farming. Unfortunately, the farm didn't do well, and it left Karen with little choice but to return to Denmark. And it is in Denmark that she scribed her tall tales of Africa as she turned into writing as a career and published such works such as the Seven Gothic Tales, Out of Africa, and Babette. But by 1985, the renewed interest in Karen Blixen with the film production of Out of Africa, the farmhouse became a part of the National Museum of Kenya. So here we will walk back in time and peer into the colonial life of living in Nairobi and all of Karen's dreams in Africa. While we will be captivated by Karen's story, we will be mesmerized by the highly endangered Rothschild giraffes that inhabit the grounds in support of conservation, a project introduced after Karen's departure. So adjacent to the Karen Blixen Museum is this giraffe center that runs the breeding program of the endangered giraffe that we will be privileged to be a part of as we learn about the unique markings of giraffe species. It's much like human fingerprints. We're going to get an up close and personal with these giraffes. I mean, like really up close and personal. We're going to have the opportunity to be able to feed the giraffe. I mean, when was the last time you could say you fed a giraffe? This is definitely going to be great conversation at your next dinner party. Now, with our hearts captured by the stories and efforts to conserve African wildlife, and that's just on the first day of touring, we're going to enjoy a special intimate dinner with the Manji family. The Manji family created a foundation to educate children from poor families living in remote locations in Kenya and help these children better their lives and of those living around them. We will enjoy a traditional Kenyan dinner while learning about the amazing work of the foundation. Mayflower is proud to partner with this family that is selfless in providing monetary and emotional support to others. To aid their foundation, a $50 per person donation will be made on your behalf. Wow, that's just a first day in country. And as they say, it only gets better. We're going to board our Safari Land Cruiser and depart Nairobi. These will be the vehicles that we will use for the duration of the trip. Each vehicle seats 7 passengers plus a driver who is also our safari guide. If you can see in the vehicle layout on the left, your luggage will also travel with you. As a safari adventure, transportation is by these safari vehicles and luggage space is minimal. So we'll have to talk about packing your luggage and making sure that you have a duffel bag type of suitcase, something that we can squish together. No hard-sided suitcases will be allowed on this adventure. Now, on our safaris, you're going to find that the roads are bumpy during the travels between the areas. And the game drives are very bumpy as well. There are some great shots of the vehicles that we'll be riding in to know that you can either sit down or stand up and have great views. And let me just say, know that you're going to get very dirty, but what an experience it will be. It'll be so worth it. Against the backdrop of Mount Kenya, the tallest mountain in Kenya and second tallest in Africa, and straddling the equator, we're going to head to Old Pajeta. This little piece of heaven stands out, offering memorable safari experiences, striking natural beauty, and large-scale conservation success. This is the closest place to Nairobi to see the Big Five, which is on everyone's goal, right? Do you know what the Big Five are? It's lion, leopard, elephant, great buffalo, and rhino. So as we drive across the open graceland, we will easily spot zebras or giraffes, although you may have to look a little bit more closely to see the cheetah stalking their prey in the grass, or jackal pups peeking out of the pack's den, but anything is possible. You can watch hippos lolling in the river or sit quietly near waterbuck and other antelope at the tranquil marsh. In the bush during our adventures, you may be surprised by a herd of elephants. And of course, the king of them all. You might even hear our first lion's roar. I'm telling you, it is bone chilling. All this with Mount Kenya looming in the distance to the east. This area is home to the world's last two remaining northern white rhinos, two female rhinos. Now here's a peek at our lodging, simply spectacular. I often say in African travel, the experience and the location are both awe-inspiring. This is Sweetwater's Tented Camp, each lodge offering something unique and new, intimate and architecturally amazing. The viewing from your bed even. This is not roughing it, folks. You've got stylish appointed tents with charming thatch roofs, solid floors, and canvas interiors. All tents feature electricity, an ensuite bathroom with hot and cold water, showers, and flushing toilets. I know when talking about accommodations, I don't usually point out hot and cold water and flushing toilets, but you got it here. You're going to have free Wi-Fi, bath amenities, a desk and chair, coffee, tea stations, hair dryer, a private balcony or veranda, free bottled water at all of our camps. This is a restaurant highlighted by the remarkable waterhole views through floor-to-ceiling windows, as well as the waterhole bar. There's a swimming pool and extensive grounds here, absolutely huge, and we're right by the watering hole to be able to see the wildlife. Anticipate enjoying unprecedented close encounters with the wildlife in the sanctuary of their natural habitat. It's day 5, and it'll be a full day of exploring the exotic Sweetwater Sanctuary. Here you will be on the lookout for the chimpanzees. This is the only destination in Kenya where visitors can explore and see the chimpanzees. And we're going to be here. The Sweetwater Sanctuary aims to provide a refuge for chimpanzees rescued from the black market. And this is the only place in Kenya where our closest living relatives can be seen. The sanctuary is now home to about 35 chimps. So now just take a moment to imagine in just 2 days, we will have played with baby elephants, fed a giraffe, and now encountered chimpanzees, all with the aim to conserve and reintroduce back into the wild. Now this is the perfect zoo experience, except we aren't even in a zoo. It's day 6, and we are off for an early morning game viewing drive. We'll travel to be surprised, don't we? To be informed and to be inspired. That's why we travel. So get ready, because every game drive here is going to be an adventure, never quite knowing what we might encounter. And again, your vehicle offers ample space to take in the vast savanna, whether it's standing up or sitting. There is no bad seat in this vehicle. Never a bad experience. Remember, this is Africa. We're going to go to the Great Rift Valley. Get your cameras ready. Astronauts claim that the Great Rift Valley is the most significant detail on the planet that is visible from space. We'll make a brief stop at the equator crossing point and experience the effects of the magnetic fields at the center of the Earth. Here is Lake Navassa. Kenya is home to 8 lakes, only 2 of which are freshwater lakes, and the rest are alkaline lakes. This lake is actually one of the freshwater lakes. And we'll enjoy a breathtaking boat ride to observe the variety of types of wildlife found here, including over 400 different species and sizable population of hippos. Did you know hippos are considered the most dangerous species in Africa? But don't worry, we're in a big boat, and our guides, they know exactly what to do. So this lake is home to over 1,500 hippos. Hippos are the 3rd largest mammals on Earth, and we will see why. My gosh, they are huge. It's likely we will encounter storks and a variety of bird life. with the record number of 400 plus species found here. Now here is our next home, 21 crescent-shaped cottages with 84-room resort right on the shores of the lake. You've got open-air verandas, very comfortable rooms, mini bars, coffee, tea amenities, hairdryer, TV, telephone. There's a swimming pool and a fitness center with sauna. And of course, a bar, lounge, restaurant with outdoor dining, gift shop, and Wi-Fi in the public areas. This lodge is huge. You've got great nature walks. The resort is actually set on 150 acres of grassland studded with bushes and trees. The resort is home to their resident giraffes, water bucks, and monkeys. It is also a night stop for hippos, so when they leave the lake every night, they come to trim the grass on the resort's expansive lawn. You know, I am often asked what makes East Africa so appealing compared to, let's say, Southern Africa. Well, Eastern Africa is comprised of green plains blowing in the wind, providing cover for African predators, marked by outcrops and low canopy trees. In Southern Africa, you are in a sub-Saharan Africa, so it means the desert. One is not better than the other, but they're just different experiences. Kenya was the backdrop of the animators creating The Lion King. So if your idea of Africa is The Lion King, well, then you've made the right choice here with Eastern Africa. Very vast, green, and vibrant. We simply never know what we're going to see. Did you know that there are 4 species of giraffe? Kenya has 3 of those 4 species. And a true pinnacle of our travels will be our time that would be spent in the Masai Mara Game Reserve. This is Kenya's version of the Great Serengeti. Masai Mara National Reserve in Kenya is one of the best wildlife destinations in Kenya, and actually all of Africa. A premier conservation center, which is why it is so important to the world, being one of the few places on Earth where wild animals and their ecosystem exist in a highly protected environment. Just think of it as our version of Yellowstone National Park. World famous for hosting the Great Epic Migration, welcomes 1.5 million wildebeest onto its sprawling savannas each July through October. The Masai Mara National Reserve are brimming with wildlife. Elephant families traveling in herds of 30 to 50 animals, cheetahs, hyenas, zebras, giraffes, and lions. This is our next home. It's a luxury camp on the banks of a river. It overlooks the plain of Masai Mara, host to one of the most spectacular wildlife shows on Earth with a great annual migration. Very welcoming here in Masai Mara. The staff are excited. They're here to have you as their guests for 2 nights we'll be staying here. You've got open-sided dining in a lounge area, complimentary Wi-Fi, a swimming pool, and 20 tents enjoying river frontage, and they're decorated with warm, rich colors. Again, this is not roughing it, folks. You've got a private bath with a shower, tub combination. Some of the rooms have these clawfoot tubs, complimentary toiletries and bathrobe, and a hairdryer on request. And how about these private balconies or patios? Say hello to a few of our friends traveling here in Kenya. We have an opportunity for you, an opportunity to enjoy a special early morning hot air balloon ride. This is an optional excursion to watch the sunrise in Kenya. It will likely be one of the most absolutely incredible experiences you will have in a lifetime. You are essentially on safari, just a few hundred feet above, listening to the life below. No other sounds, no wind. You are the wind. It's an astonishingly peaceful. You will land in what appears to be in the middle of nowhere, only to have a full white linen catered brunch, inclusive of champagne and vibrant storytelling as our group celebrates every moment of this great adventure. This is one of those options where I say, just do it. We are going to visit a traditional Masi village. Is rather come full circle on this tour as we visit this village here. It's introduced us to so much about man and nature. So here in this village, we'll learn about the hunt making. Sneak peek, I heard women build the houses, not the men. Quite interesting. But we're going to learn about tradition. We will compare our lives to the lives we witness here. We will learn of traditions, experience traditional song, admire traditional dress, inquire about life in this part of the world. And hopefully you will walk away from our time in Kenya having expanded our perspective, gained enormous amounts of wisdom, and celebrated in the very essence of what this life is all about. There is nothing more life-changing than a trip to Africa. And I hope you can join the Vista Club because this is one that is not to be missed. A few things to know. You're going to need a valid passport, of course, and the passport must remain valid for at least 6 months beyond the completion of your trip. And it must contain at least 4 fully blank, unused visa pages. Yes, a visa is required. You'll need to obtain an e-visa, so we'll do this online. You'll need this for Kenya prior to departing the U.S. The cost is approximately $51. Of course, that's subject to change, but we'll provide you with more information and assistance on obtaining that visa. As a reminder, the departure date for the Vista Club is April 30th, 2025. The per person rate is $55.95 or $55.99, excuse me, per person based on 2 to a room. Pricing includes round trip airfare from Chicago. Don't forget, if you're a repeat traveler of the Vista Club and Mayflower Cruises and Tours, well, you might have some valid loyalty rewards that you can apply as a savings to this trip. Mayflower offers a opportunity for you to protect your investment by purchasing our optional Traveler's Protection Plan. The cost of this Traveler's Protection Plan is $449 per person. If you purchase the Traveler's Protection Plan and you needed to cancel for any reason up to the day before departure, you would get all of your monies back less the cost of this Traveler's Protection Plan. Plus, with the Traveler's Protection Plan, it does include travel and medical insurance. So let's talk about making your reservation. A deposit of $250 per person is due at time of reservation. Plus, if you're choosing to purchase the optional Traveler's Protection Plan, that too will need to be paid for at time of deposit. So you would pay a total of $699 per person to reserve your spot on this East African safari. Final payment is not due until January of 2025. Now, I hope I was able to get you excited to join the Vista Club on their unique and exotic adventure to Kenya. Don't forget to visit your local First State Bank branch to get yourself signed up. Thank you very much and look forward to seeing you on this next adventure.